think I need a cup of tea before we get started. Yeah, cup of tea. Okay, are we straight? Welcome back. Oh, my tea steam is going over the camera lens. Could you see that? I don't know. I'm gonna kind of use this as you're my friend and I'm opening up to you about how I feel. And so anyone watching this, if any of my friends or family are watching this, they might be able to understand me a little bit better, because I feel like I see myself as an annoyance, but I'm probably not. But I want to open up so people can understand me a little bit more. So I suffer with anxiety, social anxiety, paranoia, everything in that kind of sort of area is what I really struggle with. I would say it started properly, well, it's difficult because I think I've always been quite an anxious person, and by always I mean there's the past sort of like 5-6 years that my anxiety has started, and I've started to feel nervous around people and nervous in situations that I didn't like being in. I put it down to sort of being quite a normal thing until probably a year and a half ago is when it started to become more of a day-to-day issue. So I'd be sat in work and I'd be constantly thinking that someone is looking at me, someone's talking about me, and when you're in the situations in work, and I work in a call centre, everyone starts to become a target, and you think that every single person in that building has it in for you or is talking about you. It's not a great place to be, and this is where I started getting the sort of anxiety symptoms of the heart beating really fast, the feeling sick, and the sort of butterflies in the stomach. I should probably also mention that I have a really ridiculous fear of on being sick, and I know that there is a technical term for that phobia, but that is something that I have, and it's whether it's feeling sick or being sick. I don't like it and I can't stand it, so that's something that I have to deal with alongside the anxiety. And if anyone has anxiety, it can make you feel really sick. So I think this one time I was sat at work just eating my toast like I normally would for lunch, and I had this sudden urge to be sick, and to the point that I put the toast down, run to the toilet. Now I've not been sick in probably 12 years, which is absolutely crazy, and the fact that I've got a phobia of being sick I think has stemmed from not being sick for so long, and I've kind of set myself up for it to be this horrendous event when it probably won't be. Anyway, besides the point. So that day that I ran to the toilet, thought I was going to be sick, I ended up not being sick, and instead I was stood up in our head office in our corridor at the very start of a panic attack. Luckily the receptionist came in and my boyfriend was also in the canteen, so he came around the corner, realised everything wasn't okay, and I ended up going home. That was the first time that I felt an anxiety attack coming on, and it didn't help that it was in work, so I went home and took it as sickness, and then actually I ended up being off for 2 weeks. I think from that point, bearing in mind I'd only been with my boyfriend at this point for a few months, he knew that I was anxious, and I think he knew that I was an anxious person, but this was the first time I think he'd probably seen me get like that. For this past year, I've had weeks where I've been okay. I have anxiety every day without fail, but it's not anything that would stop me going out and doing anything. So the past year's been okay, but I get sort of weeks every now and again that every day it's heart beating, I feel sick, I don't want to go out. Adam will say, oh, should we go for a walk today? And you know, being in the first year of a relationship and it being nice and us living in Somerset, that should be, yeah, let's go for a walk, let's go for a nice 2-hour walk around the countryside. But it's not in my head. In my head it's more, right, if I go for a walk, we're going to be on the walk for 2 hours. What if we're in the middle of a field, I need to get home there and then, I have a panic attack, what's going to happen? We're in a field, there's no way to get back to the car, there's no way to get home. And it's thoughts like this which start snowballing, and it starts off as something really simple like, right, we're going for a walk. And then at the end of it, it's going, I can't go for this walk because I can't get home, so we just might as well not go out and stay home. Luckily for me, I have the best boyfriend in the whole entire world, and he understands that, and he goes, right, okay, we won't go out, let's stay in and watch a movie, which, you know, my favourite thing to do. That's kind of where it's been for the past year. I'm currently signed off work for 2 weeks, because it kind of overtook me. My anxiety was just on top of me. So I'm on medication for that now. The past 2 weeks it's been a bit of a roller coaster. I'll get into the past 2 weeks once I've sort of just explained my anxiety a bit more. So anxiety for me is, I find it really difficult to explain because I'm sure like a lot of people have anxiety. I feel really stupid in the sense that there's no sort of reason for my anxiety to come on. So I will, you know, wake up on a Tuesday, go to work, sit down, oh my God, I'm anxious. Why am I anxious? And then it's trying to figure out what's making me anxious. And then I end up taking a tablet. So my propranolol to try and ease that. And sometimes it does go, but it's always that living in fear that you're going to have a panic attack, which is what really worries me. And I think as well, the fact that it's at work, you know, your managers don't want you just running off having a panic attack and causing a scene and then coming back and not being okay. Yeah, so I get the sort of anxious feeling with the heart beating and the feeling sick and the need to get out. I think my anxiety is worst firstly when I'm in a situation where I can't leave if I need to leave, or you know, if I need to have a panic or an anxiety attack. If I'm somewhere where I can't just go and do that, it doesn't sit well with me. So places that I don't like being are going round my nan and granddad's house for a cup of tea. They're family, but they don't know about me as much as other people know about me. So those situations make me anxious. Long car journeys make me anxious. My boyfriend's family live in Leicester, so we travel from here to Leicester, which is about 3.5, 4 hour car journey. I don't like being on a motorway because you could get stuck there on a motorway for 5-6 hours, and then where would you go if you needed to have an anxiety attack? It's just all these little things in your head or in my head that are constant, and they never ever stop. It's just a constant whirlwind of what if, and over analysing every situation that I go into. You know, that's me. Woo! One thing I will say is that making sure you surround yourself with people who are happy for you to be anxious. So I mean this is, I've been with Adam a year now, or just over a year. Before that I was with someone who, nothing wrong with him, but I wasn't in an environment where I could be openly anxious, and I think suppressing that can make it a lot worse, or can make it possibly come out in other ways. So a couple of years ago I was underweight, not eating right, and I think that was because I couldn't let my anxiety out, so I was controlling myself in another way, and this was through food. So I lost a lot of weight, and I think that suppressed my anxiety that way. I'm at a point now where I'm not underweight, I'm healthy. I've been to the doctors, you know, your BMI is great, you're healthy, but because I'm not controlling what I'm eating anymore, the anxiety was really eating away at me instead. Oh my God, I need to write that down. I like that. Yeah, so because I'm not in control of what I eat, and I'm with someone now that I don't think Adam would ever let me not eat. So not because he's controlling, I just think because he cares. I think that, yeah, that is why it did get on top of me a bit there. But being with someone who says to you, it's okay, if you're anxious, be anxious. You let your anxiety come out and you let it happen, which might sound like a bad thing, but it is very much a good thing, because you can't, oh my God, you can't contain that, or you can't, that's not something that you should keep in. Definitely, geez, I'm breaking. Definitely surround yourself with people who are going to help and support you. For example, I have Adam, and I also have one of my best friends who, like me, suffers quite a lot. And I find it really helpful to go to her with advice as well, saying, I feel anxious, what should I do? She's quite calming, and she is able to point me in the right direction of what she thinks I should do, and any helpful tips. I think I'm struggling to find the point of this video rather than me just rambling on about my life issues. I think the point of this is that I want my friends and family to sort of understand what I'm going through, if, you know, if I do cancel plans last minute, it's not because I don't want to see you, it's because my brain will not shut up and allow me to go out and have a good time. It's not that I don't want to see my friends and that I want to be shacked up in my house all weekend. It's just, sometimes it's easier to give into the anxiety in your brain than to actually let yourself go out and have a good time, which is a really rubbish situation to be in, but sometimes it's just, you got to give in sometimes the anxiety, because at the moment the noise is too much in my head too. So yeah, I'm off these 2 weeks at the moment. I had a bit of a breakdown at work a couple of weeks ago. I spoke to my doctor and he said best to take a couple of weeks. I'm on some new medication now. I think is helping. My anxiety is going for sure, but the side effects, I will say, are interesting, but that seems to be helping. I take propranolol. I actually haven't had to be taking much of, but saying that, I've been at home, I've not been to work, I've kind of shut myself in for 2 weeks, so that might be why. But yeah, so I take that anytime I get the physical symptoms of a panic attack, so heart racing, starting to feel like I'm out of control. That's a good one. And I also take cyclizine, whatever. This one is an anti-sickness tablet. So as I said, I've got such a fear of being sick and throwing up that I will take those to suppress any sickness feeling I've got, which is great. Thanks to the doctors for giving me that. It's a bit ridiculous really, but anything that stops me feeling like I'm gonna be sick, I will take. And I also use this. Chewing gum. Chewing gum is the one thing which really does help calm me down. Adam would say Jesus Christ, I look gross. Adam would say the complete opposite. So yesterday in bed, I was anxious that I'm not going back to work today, and it was really, really eating away at me. And I went through a pack of chewing gum. Chew, 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 take it up in the bin, chew, 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 take it up in the bin. Adam seems to think it doesn't help me. It does, but I can see how it looks a bit obsessive when I'm just eating a whole pack of chewing gum. What I would say is, if you're struggling and if you really think that, even if you don't really think you've got anxiety, if you're just feeling something that isn't right inside of you, get it checked out, because you don't want it to happen to you. What happened to me, where I suppressed it so much that it ended up taking over my body in a completely different way and then made me unhealthy. Just even if you have that initial conversation with your mum and just go, Mum, I'm not feeling 100%, something's not right here, or anyone that you can find or you think would be supportive, just open up, let them know, go to the doctors, and the doctor will be able to do something for you and point you in the right direction. Anyway, I don't really know what the point of this video was. I thought I'd have more of a point to this, but I think it's mainly just opening up, letting anyone else know if you're struggling and you're not too sure why you're feeling what you're feeling. Same sister, because that's me. Same sister. But if you are struggling and you don't know where to turn to, and if you're like me thinking, I don't know why this is happening, so surely there's not something to talk about, do talk about it. Always, always, always talk about it. I hope this video has been useful. If you're happy to open up, please do leave your stories below, how you cope with it, because it wouldn't just help others, it would also help me to know that A, I'm not going crazy, and B, what you do might help me in the future, then which might help me help others, that sort of thing. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and we will be back with a more light-hearted video next time. Thank you, bye.